right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Competitive Edge Real Estate Report. I'm your host, Barry Overton, bringing you information each week that's going to give you the advantage in this crazy real estate market that we're currently in. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special guest that we're going to have on today. He's going to share a program that is near and dear to my heart and is near and dear to his heart as well. His name is Shane Day. And he's been in the mortgage industry 20 plus years. And it's funny, when we first met, we realized that we knew so many of the same people. And when both people are in the industry for so long, that just tends to happen. But we also realized that with both of us, we had this servant's heart and we want to be able to give back. And he started DayOne Mortgage in 2019. And a big part of what was important to him is being able to give back to his clients, and particularly his hero clients, his public servants, those first responders out there. So they created a public servant program that gives back. And that's what we're going to talk about today, and why, if you're a first responder, a teacher, a medical professional, or military, why you should be using DayOne Mortgage and the Overton Hero program to get the very best benefits for yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, Mr. Shane Day. How are you doing, sir?
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here. Doing wonderful.
Hey, yeah, I'm glad. Anytime I'm in your presence, whether it's virtual or actual presence, it's always a good day, and you give off great energy. And we've known each other for a pretty short period of time, but coming very close friends in that time.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's always a lot easier to have a partnership when you're aligned with that servant's heart. And I think recognizing that there are people in different communities that, that really go out of their way to go above and beyond to serve others, just gives me a lot of light in my heart, and just, excited to always be a part of that venture for people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that's one of the things about this profession that we're in, real estate and the mortgage industry, is that we do have this opportunity to really touch and impact people. I'm sure you've been in that situation where those keys are being slid across the table to that first time home buyer, and they're in tears, just realizing what they've accomplished. And we had the fortune of being a part of that.
Yeah, it makes you think about why you get into this business, whether it's real estate or mortgage. I think you're put in a position to where people entrust in you to be their eyes and their ears, and to make sure that nothing gets in the way of an unparalleled type of experience. And to me, it's a huge honor just to kind of be in the position of trust. And it just so happens that I'm here. So.
Yeah, and I think sometimes people probably think that we take this lightly, or that we look at people as kind of being on a conveyor belt and we're moving through all the processes with different people. But that's the one thing I realize with you, very much like myself, is that we're taking care of those clients, whether it's a $2 million client or a $200,000 client. They're getting the same treatment from us through that process.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up, because I think, each of us individually have different levels of fulfillment. And for me, it's, the thing that fills my heart is to meet people, to be in that position of trust, and to handhold, if you will. I don't care if they're an experienced buyer or if they're brand new, as a first-time buyer. It's just, it's great to be in a position to where I'm educating, providing options, and walking someone down a path to create a raving fan client. I mean, that's ultimately the goal.
Yeah. And I know another part of that fulfillment, much like myself, is, being able to serve our heroes and our public servants. And especially in these last couple of years, going through the pandemic, and really seeing teachers and nurses really truly are heroes. And along with our first responders, who have always been considered heroes because they're putting their lives on the line on a daily basis. And I really, that was one of our first connections, when I realized that you had a public servant program and it really matched what I'm doing. So what brought that about for you? What made the public servant program important?
Yeah, I'm really glad you bring that up. So, for me, I have several family members that have been in service to this country. I've seen a lot of stuff there and witnessed, what that's like to serve at that level. I have many, many clients that are veteran men and women that I'm fortunate enough to be partnered with and become friends with. And then, I have several team members that are either veterans, police, former police, firefighter, so just having the opportunity to befriend, to be close to some of these people that have hearts that are bigger, uh, is a luxury. I learn a lot from these kinds of people, and I think, whenever I have an opportunity to provide mortgage services, it gives me again that fulfilling space that says, I want to do something more for these people. So the public servants heroes program that we put in place was directed specifically to say thank you to the people that have a great big heart and that serve the community in various ways, whether they're teachers or nurses or veterans or police or whatever it might be. um, I think it's our opportunity to give back and to have them witness our process, but at the same time, covering lender fees is helpful.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of goes into the next part of it. How does the program work? I think you touched on it, but when we talk about lender fees, what is that covering for them?
Yeah, so I think a lot of lenders, they have various structures to what their costs are. Well, what I wanted to do is make sure that these people that fall into the category of public servants, that they're not experiencing bunch of junk fees and things like that. So what we do is we cover all the lender related fees for people, and they're paying their third party fees. Of course, we don't know what those are going to be in advance, but they're not having fees from us. So I think it's nice for the recipient of that. And then the other thing is, we still give people options. So, if they want to buy rates down or they want to take advantage of some different structures, then that's part of our DNA is we want to make sure that we provide options, create education, and empower people to make really good decisions so that they're comfortable with whatever's in front of them.
Yeah, that's great. And I mean, those numbers can definitely add up in regards to just the lender fees alone. And I mean, when you can couple that, we have the Overton Hero program. I bring a client to you and I'm giving them 15% of my commission. And then you're covering the lender fees. I mean, we're talking, a couple of thousand, maybe $3,000 or so that
Yeah.
someone is keeping in their pocket because we're contributing it towards their closing costs. And that's huge.
Yeah, it's a big deal. We've been doing this really for about 3 or 4 years now. And the other thing is I mean, again, we're back to fulfillment. I feel fulfilled to cover these kinds of fees so that people can keep that in their pocket for the purposes of whatever's important to them. And whether it be taking an extra vacation or applying it towards a fund for their children or whatever the case, I think it really moves the needle in a big way. And I'm so happy to be partnered with a real estate professional like yourself that also feels in alignment with this towards this sector of people.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I know, in about a month, we're going to be together for the whole week, going around to the different district stations and for Denver Police Department and serving in another way, literally serving lunch to those heroes, the men and women of the Denver Police Department, who obviously, because of my background and retiring as a police officer, I've held them near and dear to my heart. And I'm really excited to be able to introduce you and to introduce them to you. Because again, I just know that there's going to be some lives that are going to be impacted by DayOne Mortgage.
Yeah, no doubt. It's funny. I'm a believer in we are only as good as our circle of influence. So having the opportunity to grow our network, to be partnered and connected to great human beings is only going to elevate the all of us. So we're a sum of a lot of parts. And so I'm really excited just to be a part of that and to shake some hands with people and talk to them and be with you, of course. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Shane, I appreciate you for being on and sharing the program. Ladies and gentlemen, if you heard something on here and you're a hero or you're related to a hero or you know a hero that is in the market to purchase a home or even refining their property, be sure to reach out to Shane Day and DayOne Mortgage. His information will be at the end of this video and he can answer any and all the questions that you may have. So until next week, we'll see you and have a great rest of your week.
Thanks so much.